Okay, so I want to talk about the nuance of when to stop out and what time frames you should be using. We talked about this today on voice chat, and I just wanted to make a video on it because the answer is not definitive. It's all depending on when things happen, how fast they happen. So I'm going to show you NVIDIA and Tesla, both examples of this. So NVIDIA today, we got into a long, well, I actually shorted it and then logged it. One of my favorite things about these tickers that I watch, right, is like they're getting you, they'll pay you both ways because they're so large and so liquid. So just to briefly, I shorted NVIDIA, I want to say it was like on a fiver this morning. Yeah. This inside 5 down, shorted it down. Not too far, not too crazy, and then very quickly flipped long. But what I really want to talk about is this long, right? So this is the entry. And then you had a really beautiful 30-minute, which I can pull up. I'm going to put it here because I want you to see the hour as well, right? So you had this really pretty 30. This inside 30, right? And then the hour went all the way up almost to ADR. But what do we need to know before we get into any trade? We need to know where we're going and we need to know what's going to stop us out. So I want to talk about that as well because we talked about that on the voice. Getting in here, right? Enter on the 15. What's going to stop me out is if I close below my entry point. Close, right? So you have to let candles close. This 15 comes below it, but it doesn't close below it. So for me, personally, I'm holding on to that because it's still okay to trade, right? That's just, regardless, that's how I trade. So I have my stop. Where am I going? If we can kind of attempt to view this back in time, we had this hammer. And actually, let me do this. I'll put the 12-hour here and the week here. Okay, so actually, I'll put the 12-hour here, the week here, and the month here, because all of those are going to be important. Okay, so on the week, it was an inside week when we started, right? Inside week and up is where we're trying to go to all-time highs, right? The market's been bullish, yada, yada, yada. Okay. Also, weekly continuation trigger is the same as the monthly continuation trigger, right? You see this white line that I've drawn? That's where we're trying to go, okay? Which is the previous month's target if you kind of zoom out. So that's there. That's where I'm trying to go today. If we go above that and stay above that, then obviously we want all-time highs, okay? So before I get in the trade, I already know where my target is. I know where I want to take profit and or where I'm going to have some sort of trouble, resistance, profit taking from other people, etc., right? So knowing that changes how I exit my trade. Once I hit, this is why Sarah preaches, take your profit at your targets, right? Because targets are exhaustion risk areas and sections, right? So I want to hit my target and I want to stay above that. If I don't stay above that, then I'm going to need to assess when and where I want to exit. So that is why you hear people getting in on the 15 and then trailing, let's say on the 5. You start trailing on the 5 after you have hit your target, right? So an even better example, I entered on the 15. I'll make this a lot larger. So I entered on the 15, right? I entered here. Somewhere around here, okay? If I enter here, trailing on the 5, when I entered on a 15er, is just going to get me kicked out of this trade before I hit my target, right? And then it goes that way. And that's where some frustration, I think, that like the questions that have in my DMs and in the live chat is just, you're getting in on a 15 and exiting on a 5. This is going to happen to you a ton of times. So if I haven't hit my target, then I'm entering on the 15, I'm exiting on the 15. If I haven't hit my target, I'm entering on the 30, I'm exiting on the 30. That changes once I have hit my target. I hit my target. Okay, cool. Now, let's say I want to trail on the 5, because really, after I hit my target, I need to stay above it. This, great, still going my way. This, fine, it's not against me, not too upset, still above my target. But this, here, especially, and actually I'll talk about account size. So this is my exit, because what is this? This is showing me, first of all, this is at 11:55, which tells me a flip is going to happen on the next candle, right? So I already know a flip is going to happen. You have to mind the flip. Continuity can change on flips. 30-minute flips and hourly flips are even stronger, as we all know, right? So I have already hit my target. I've expanded my broadening formation. I know these two things to be true. When I see an actionable signal signaling me down, signaling me the opposite of the direction I want to go, I'm already thinking it may be time to exit. So this is a sniper exit. This is it could still go back up exit, but I want to take my money. If I only have one contract, I'm out. If I have multiple contracts, this is my partial exit. And then I move to the 15. What is the 15 showing me? Okay, the 15 is showing me, okay, cool, change in continuity, nothing crazy. This 15 closed, up here. This 15 closed above my target. Okay, I'm still good. Then this 15 goes against me. This is a reversal. 2 up, 2 down, right? So when it crosses this line, not only does it go below my target, but it also triggers the 15. Another obvious indication that we're going down. Okay, what do I also see there? I see the 30 is, it's hard to tell. If for some reason you're still holding this hour right here, this is telling me all I need to know. This shooter hour, this is telling me get out. You're like every runner you have, this is like an unnecessary trade to hold, right? Especially because I'm trading weekly contracts. Okay, so the time frame that you're exiting, and this is for me, right? Like I also rewatch these videos and remind myself of things and practice and learn, right? The way that I trade, once I hit my target, my exit needs to change based off of a lower time frame. Okay, with that said, that's the NVIDIA example. If I stay above my target, then my target just moves, right? ADR. Then this would be my next target, 144.41. Then this would be my next target, right? Like as long as I'm staying above my targets can move. Totally makes sense. Totally fine. Tesla. This is what Alex is talking about when he says it's still good. So let's say you enter here on the hour. Actually, let's do a lower time frame entry. And today, I even said in the chat, I had to chase Tesla. I couldn't tell you where I got in. I just got in. And when we were talking after hours in voice chat, I was telling people, like, not only does it matter, like Alex says, when things occur matter, yes, but also how fast things occur matter. Tesla was falling so quickly that I just got in because there was so much momentum to the downside, right? Okay, completely beside the point. Let's say, oh, I remember this. I was very annoyed because there was no clear entry in Tesla. Solanke said he took an inside 10. Okay. So let's say you enter here, right? This is an ideal prime entry. Okay, so you enter your short here on Tesla. What am I looking at? Where are my targets? What do I want to hit? Okay, so Tesla's this continuation 2-2 down. We've expanded this broadening formation. So number one thing I know, I want to stay outside of that. Cool. I also know daily opens here. Cool. So now I have my targets. And I'll make my targets green for ease. Right? All of these things. Okay. So my initial target when I enter is the gap fill, right? We see this gap. Number one thing I want to do is fill this gap. Okay? Number one. Great. So if I go back to the 10, I'm not exiting until I hit my target or it's a clear reversal against me. Okay, cool. I enter here. Boom, I'm in the gap. Boom, I fill the gap. Great. So, just like I showed on NVIDIA, this would be that same white line, right? I want to stay below that target. If I come back to it, then I'm looking on a different time frame to see, you know, am I reversing? Is there an actual signal against me? Like, what's happening? Okay. So what do I see? I see that, oh, I'm not coming back to it. Cool. I'm staying in. And I'm seeing, so I have all those green lines, and these are actually, this is a side note, these are why I like these dotted line targets as well, because you can see that they give me targets in between the larger targets, right? So those two lines I want to hit before I hit this this next target, right? And that's just helpful to me personally. So again, cool. I'm below my target. I'm just, and frankly, like, I'm not watching, but if I were watching, great. I entered on the 10. I guess I want to exit on the 10. Tesla's falling. Nothing is against me. Even this situation here, right? This is just another ad. Keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. That's the difference in NVIDIA, right? If it had hit my target and showed me an indication of, hey, I'm reversing. Let's say even I entered on the 30, right? The issue with this is, like, there wasn't, okay, actually, let's say you entered on the hour. This makes more sense. Okay, this makes more sense for my example. If you enter here on this 3-2, then your stop should not be on the hour, right? Once you hit your first target, which is the gap fill, this white line, then you're looking for a lower time frame. That's when you would move to the 10, right? You're looking on a lower time frame to see any sort of reversal. And you can move to the 5, it doesn't matter, right? As long as you are still below your target, you're likely fine. Okay, fine. Don't love this, but it is a 2 down. Okay. Sorry, this is a failed 2 down. Don't love it. This comes against me. Still don't love it, but I haven't closed above my target. I haven't closed above my white line target or this, like, mid target, right? It's wicking it. Okay, I'm staying in, right? Boom. Still. Boom. Right? And now I've hit my next target. So what am I doing? I'm trying to defend this line, right? And again, I'm also looking for actionable signals, right? So even this 3-2-1, I'm not getting out because it didn't close in force, right? You still have to let candles close. The only time I'm not letting a candle close is if for some reason, like, this goes above my target significantly, then I'm fine to exit, and, like, maybe I'll have to get back in. I hope that makes sense, right? Because what this video is really about is nuance. And so I'm trying to show the price action that's giving you different nuance. Because what you don't want to happen, right, is I enter on the hour, so I'm exiting on the hour. That would be insane to go all the way down here. And then let's say, so let me slow down. If you enter here on the hour and you want to exit on the hour, that would make your exit hopefully not up here, right? Hopefully your exit would be your entry point, break even, right? Can you imagine Tesla falling all the way down here? What is that, $6, and then coming back to your entry point and you just giving up all of that profit? You don't want to do that. When it hits my target, boom, I'm going to a lower time frame just to make sure that I'm not getting a signal to get out, right? And this is really specific to having a smaller portfolio. You're trading 1 or 2 contracts. If you have a lot of contracts, totally fine to take some profit at your target and see what runners do. Maybe you have, you know, a slight TTO against you and back down. Totally fine. But we were really on the voice chats talking about specifically smaller accounts when you don't have that many contracts to trade. So again, the nuance here, right? So it kind of comes back up. Don't love it. Totally fine. I'll be okay. Boom, hits my next target. I want to stay below that. What do? I stay below that. Boom, hits my next target. And targets are these green lines, right? Great, love it. What do? I want to stay below that. Boom, hits my next target. Then what happens, right? And you can do this on the 10, right? If you do it on the 10, this is your exit. If you do it on the 5, you practically have the same exit. I wouldn't have exited here because I'm still below, right? I need this candle to close. So that's what that would look like for me. If you're being really strict about it, you would exit like right here. But yeah, like that's not how I trade personally. And going back to the hour, if the hour is your tail for exit, you'd probably still be in the trade. Which ultimately is not the worst thing because I think Tesla's going to go down, but we don't know, right? You never know what the night's going to hold. So that would have been your exit, right? That's just so far to go. I don't mind going that far if I haven't hit my target, but we're blowing through targets, which means what? Exhaustion risk. But also looking at Tesla, really want to trigger the month down here. Anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about. I hope that makes sense. And yeah, this video got long. Okay.